So venous return of the blood definitely has effect on the stroke volume, which is the amount of blood that's pumped out of the ventricle per contraction. And so how to understand this is through the Frank-Starling law of the heart. And basically what it says is that there's a cause and effect relationship between the end diastolic volume, and which is where the ventricle is filling up. It's where it's at the end of diastole where it's filled up with blood, and this creates a preload, a stretch on the ventricle walls, and this stretch increases that contraction power, which then is able to propel the blood out, creates a stronger stroke volume. So through that Frank-Starling law, we're able to see how that venous return ends up affecting EDV, that volume, that preload, increases that stretch, which in turn increases stroke volume. And number two, explain the reasons for the observed changes in blood flow velocity in the different regions. So one way to understand this is through the inverse relationship that exists between velocity and the total cross-sectional area of the vascular bed. So if we start out with the aorta, we're looking at a smaller vascular area. We're looking at, say, 2.5 centimeters squared, but we're looking at a velocity that is 40 centimeters per second. Now, as we get down to the capillaries, we see a total cross-sectional area that increases to 4,500 centimeters squared, though the velocity decreases to 0.1 centimeters per second. And then as we move up through the veins, we're looking at an increase in velocity and a decrease in that area to the point where we can get to the vena cava, we are looking at 15 centimeters per second at an area of 14 centimeters squared. So definitely an inverse relationship between the velocity and that total cross-sectional area of the vascular bed. Other things that will influence, cause changes in that velocity for different areas can be everything from vessel diameter, blood pressure, to viscosity. And one of the benefits of having a velocity that is less than what it is for the aorta in the capillaries is it allows for an exchange of the gases, the nutrients, and wastes in that interstitial space. If the blood were moving to there too quickly, we wouldn't see that happen in the correct way. So it allows for an exchange of those things, having such a small velocity, and it also protects the delicate capillaries from harm.